Rise up, warrior. Peace be upon you, my friend. I'm Dr. Wasi. I hope you're doing great. By the grace of God, I am doing wonderful. And today I'm going to tell you how I lost 50 pounds using the power of my mind and intermittent fasting. So after me and my wife got married about 2.5 years ago, I essentially put on a lot of weight because I'd moved to a different city and we were newlyweds and we were on this honeymoon phase, so we were literally eating out all the freaking time. Now before the wedding, I'd gained weight consistently too, and so I was definitely overweight before the wedding as well. But I had done the keto diet for 20 days. I lost 20 pounds in 20 days doing the keto diet. It was the most miserable days of my life. I absolutely hated it. And I would never want to do it again. I'm sure keto's worked for some people. Hey, I'm not saying anything bad about you. I know it works. I know it can be great. It's just not for me. And if you're watching this, most likely it's not for you either, all right? So I put on about 60 additional pounds, I'd say, in the span of a year, the first year that I was married. And all of that was attributed to just eating out all the time and just not working out enough. And I was studying at the time, so I was doing a lot of work at home. So you know, there were just a lot of things going on. And basically we moved back to Houston, me and my wife, and it was Thanksgiving. And I'll never forget, that's the day that changed everything for me, because I believe I was wearing a 3XL shirt. 3XL. It wasn't XL, it wasn't double XL, it was 3XL that I started to buy now because I was the heaviest I'd ever been. And I remember going to this Thanksgiving. The first part was at my cousin's place, and the second part was at my sister-in-law's place. And I remember putting this shirt on and feeling so freaking disgusting. I felt like I was gonna explode out of the shirt. I couldn't sit down because my buttons were about to pop. I felt so uncomfortable, even though there was a ton of food there, and it's the one day where people really indulge and enjoy themselves and have their cheat meals. I just didn't want to eat because I didn't know how much more I could take. I didn't know. I just literally felt like I was gonna bust out of my shirt, and that's never happened in my life before. But I just felt so uncomfortable sitting there. And then we prayed, and our prayer requires us to go down and get back up. And I wore these pair of slacks that I'd wore for the first time, and they rolled up really high between my legs. And so, you know, when you're bending and kneeling and then you're trying to get back up and there's not a lot of room between your legs, it's going to be tougher if you're really out of shape. And mind you, I'd still been working out on and off, but it had been a while. It had been a few months. So just getting up, I almost tripped and fell because the slacks were pulling on each other. I didn't have enough leg space, and it was just a miserable experience. I was so embarrassed. I was so out of shape. I just felt like something's got to change, you know? And then from there, we went to my sister-in-law's house, and they had amazing food as well. But because I felt so full, I just couldn't get myself to even have a morsel of food. Like the whole time, I literally did not have a bite of food. I could have definitely gone for some. I could have had dessert. I could have had seconds. I could have, you know, it was our second meal of the day, basically. And I just felt, it's the first time in my life that happened, where I saw food and I didn't eat it just because I felt so disgusted with myself. And literally, I remember sitting there in the living room, and a bunch of people had gotten up to go get food, and I was just sitting there alone for a few minutes before I joined the crowd. And I just thought to myself, I am never, ever gonna allow myself to weigh this much ever again. And next Thanksgiving, I'm not gonna weigh this much. Next Thanksgiving, I'm gonna come back here much lighter. I don't know how much lighter it's gonna be, but I'm gonna be lighter for damn sure. I'm not gonna weigh this much. I'm gonna be leaner and I'm gonna be thinner. I'm not gonna be this weight, and I'm definitely not gonna gain weight. Next Thanksgiving, I gave myself 1 year. So that was the turning point for me. That's where I really hit rock bottom. That's where enough was enough. And I had seen my weight on the scale. I remember weighing myself the next day on the scale, and I was like, holy cow. It was a shocker. It's the heaviest I'd ever weighed, and I'll never forget that. I mean, seeing that number on the scale, I had never thought that I would see that number on the scale. And it just reminded me that, you know, we sometimes think we're never going to get to a certain place, or like, you know, other people may go down that route, but we're never going to get that far, that extreme. And here I was at that weight. And then I thought to myself, what's next? another 25 pounds, another 50 pounds heavier, another 100 pounds heavier? Where is it gonna end? If I don't stop this right now, if I don't take control of my mind right now and stop whatever's going on here, because I know I'm smart, I know I'm intelligent, I know I'm hardworking, I've been lean before in my life. So why is it that now, even though I know all these things and I have all these strengths and talents, that I keep putting on weight and gaining weight? And I'm living in this body that's not natural, that's not mine, that doesn't feel like mine. Looking good, looking your best, fitting into clothes that you love is definitely a cherry on top. It's definitely one of the biggest motivations of why people want to lose weight, or to attract the opposite gender, to attract your dream wife, whatever it may be for you, right? For me, it was all those things, but more importantly, it was just feeling good again. Have you just wanted to feel good again? Have you just wanted some energy? Do you have trouble sleeping at night? Sleep apnea? If you're overweight? Do you feel tired all the time? Do you have no energy? You know, when you gain weight, it's harder for you to move. It's harder for you to walk. It's harder, of course, for you to run and work out. Do things that we're normally supposed to be able to do. Which is why if you've ever traveled when you're really overweight, I'm talking 100 pounds overweight, you know how hard it is for you to keep up with the rest of the group. When everybody else is walking and it's easy for them, or it's normal, you're struggling. Your souls are in pain. The whole night, you're miserable. I've been there, so I know what that feels like, because I know you've been there too. So that really was the day that everything changed for me, and I decided that as soon as New Year's hits, I actually, started working on my nutrition and my fitness that December. But as soon as New Year hit, I decided to go all in with all the mindset and the coaching I had learned about weight loss. I knew that it may not be an overnight process, but I knew that I had to start somewhere. And I did. The number one thing I did to lose 50 pounds and keep it off was using the power of my mind. All of weight loss is a mental game. That's all it is. It all starts and ends with the mind. So many of us have gone through crazy amounts of diets and have been suffering and wondering why each diet doesn't work. It's not the diet that's not working. It's our brains, it's our minds, it's our emotions that we have not been able to overcome. Either because we've gotten addicted to overpleasure, or we've been buffering the emotions we don't want to face in life with the pleasure of food. Using food essentially to numb ourselves, to drug ourselves, so we don't have to face any negative emotion, because we do not want to face discomfort. As if we believe that feeling discomfort is going to cause us to die. Well, guess what? It's not. And that's what I discovered in this journey. So the number one thing was using my mind for basically two things. The first thing was my why. I had to find a strong enough why. So if you want to do this journey, if you want to lose a lot of weight, you got to have a strong enough why. For me, it was hitting rock bottom at that Thanksgiving of all places, and not wanting to eat the food at Thanksgiving because I felt so freaking fat and like I was going to bust out of my clothes. I felt so uncomfortable. I felt disgusted with who I was. Not because being overweight is disgusting. That's not what I'm saying, because it's not. But I didn't recognize who I was anymore. I couldn't move the way I wanted to. I didn't feel comfortable being in my own body. And that's a huge problem. You know how that feels if you're watching this video. I'm sure you've experienced it, all right? So number one was finding my why. My why was I just did not want to come back next Thanksgiving and feel the same way. I just didn't want to come back, God forbid, heavier. That was my fear. If I don't do something about this now, every week I'll continue getting a pound or two every single week. And I just can't do that. I can't afford to do that anymore, right? So for me, my why was I want to look better. I want to feel better mostly. And I do not want to gain more weight. I do not want to come back next year and be heavier. I want to come back next year and be lighter. I want people to notice a difference. I want to notice a difference. I want to fit into smaller clothes. I want to feel lighter. I want to feel better. And I want to actually be able to enjoy the food that's there on Thanksgiving, for crying out loud, right? Number two, the second part of the mindset was future focus. Now, this is an exercise that I love to teach my coaching clients because I've been using it for the past year in my life. And it's literally allowed me to lose the 50 pounds. It's allowed me to, within 1 year, triple my income. It's allowed me to 10x my YouTube subscribers, went from 50 to now 1,200 and more. It's allowed me to improve my relationship with my wife. It's allowed me to do so many things. So this exercise is very, very powerful, all right? The way you do it is basically you imagine yourself, let's say 10 years. You could do this with 3 years, 5 years, let's say 10 years, all right? So you imagine your future self 10 years from now at your peak, at your pinnacle of success, like your peak body, like freaking jacked, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, if that's who you want to be, right? Just ripped, toned, strong. You imagine your financial life, like all the wealth, all the financial freedom. Put a number in your mind, whatever it is, millions, billions. Hey, there's no limit, right? You let your mind go wild, right? Your relationship, your dream relationship, your dream family, the dream mansion that you're in, the dream sports cars you're driving, the dream family you have, the kids you have, lifestyle, the friends, what you do, how you wake up in the morning, what you do throughout the day, all of that stuff. So you're gonna basically imagine that you're gonna believe that that's already happened. Since we're talking about body here, you're gonna believe that you're already at your prime ideal body, like your dream body, you're already there. 10 years from now, can you imagine where it's gonna be? How much muscle mass you're gonna have, how strong you're gonna be, right? How ripped and lean you're gonna be. So you imagine yourself and you believe, you have faith in God and in yourself, then you believe that that's already happened, that it's already happened in the spectrum of time. You imagine then, when you believe that it's already happened, how amazing do you feel? How good does it feel to be there? How happy do you feel? What are you doing in life? How are you living your life? What do you do every day? How are you contributing? How are you giving? You imagine all of that stuff. So you imagine yourself there, already there. You believe that you're there. You believe that in the spectrum of time, that it's already happened, right? And when you do, you'll basically be imagining that if you were already there, if that's already happened, that has already happened in the spectrum of time, right? There's not even an if. That's already happened. It already exists. So what did you do today to get there? Instantly, your mind's going to go to action. Instantly, your brain is going to tell you what to do. It's going to tell you what you shouldn't eat, what you should eat, how you should fast, how you should work out, what you should do, how much you should sleep. Instantly, your brain will get to work if you know that you're already there. Now, if 10 years is too far for you, then make it 1 year, make it 3 years, make it 5 years, make it 3 months, whatever that is. But you have to imagine your future self, and then at your pinnacle, at your highest peak of being yourself, right? Of being the highest warrior, right? And you have to imagine that you're already there. You have to believe that you're already there. Once you believe that you're already there, you're just going to reverse engineer and work backwards. And you're going to try to figure out, if you believe that you already got there, you're just like, I'm curious. If I already got there, if it already happened in the spectrum of time, what did I do today to have gotten there? What did I have to do today? Instantly, your mind will get to work. Instantly, you will know what action to take. That thought will drive the emotion of excitement, of happiness, of success, of feeling empowered. And instantly, it's going to drive you to take that action or to stay away from certain action that will take you away from that dream body. I think a good timeline to use is 1 year, 6 months, 3 months, whatever works for you. But this is a powerful exercise. The second part of this exercise is when you imagine your future self 10 years from now, and you imagine how he walks, how he talks, how he behaves, his voice, the depth of his voice, his confidence level, his stature, everything. When you imagine that, then you act from that place right now. You act as if you're already there right now. You become that person and live that person's life right now. Now, everything around you, your outside world, may not have manifested yet with the thought of who you are then. But you can be that person on the inside, and you can act and think from that person's place right now. You have that option. You have that ability. And when you do that, when you start taking action from that place now, as if you're already that person, it changes the game, bro. It changes the game. It changes everything. It changes the way you treat people. It changes the way you treat yourself. It changes the ideas you have about your wealth and your finances and how big you dream. It changes the actions you take. It changes what you believe you deserve. And most of all, it changes your mindset. It changes your health. It changes the way you feel, the way you look, the energy you have every single day. It changes your mental health and your physical health. It's a game changer. It changes everything. I can't tell you that using this one thing for the past year, this one coaching exercise for the past year, a future self, has helped me the most, has helped me accomplish the most in life, because I already believe that my 10-year self is there. I've already created this epic empire, this world, right? And so then I ask myself, my brain gets to work of, if that's already happened, then what did I do today to get there? And the second part of that is if I'm already that person now, then how do I think? How do I change my thinking? What things will I do differently if I'm living from that place right now? And when you truly practice this exercise, in the beginning it's going to be a little tough. In the beginning it might be a little uncomfortable, but that's okay. It's supposed to be, because you're growing, right? You're supposed to experience that discomfort, because on the other side of that is where the reward is, right? So in the beginning it'll be a little weird to practice this, but the more you do, I'm telling you, I do this multiple times a day, it'll get easier and easier and easier. Literally your whole life, your persona will start to change. At your core, you will still be the same person you've always been. But there will be layers of you from the past, or that you've developed, or that you've grown, that are not serving you anymore, that you'll be able to get rid of. All right? And you'll be able to peel those layers off, and you'll be able to step in to the man that you want to become. You'll be able to step into the man that you know that you can be. Your future self, the best version of your future self 10 years from now. So this mind hack has been everything for me, especially when you don't want to do something you don't want to do. Like losing weight, trying to lose weight, you're doing something uncomfortable, you're doing something that makes you nervous, you're doing something that embarrasses you, whatever it is. I mean, this can be applied to putting yourself out there, starting your own business, getting a new job, starting a new relationship. Literally, it can be applied to everything. So make sure you use that. 2 things with mindset were know your why, make it strong and compelling enough so you're going to want to stick to your goal. And then second is your future self. Visualize your future self years from now, and who that is, who that man is, how he acts, how he talks, how he feels, how he looks, how he behaves, how he thinks. And then your mind will start to take action today to be there, because it's already happened in the future. And you get to choose to be that person now, today, in this very moment, and take action and to think from that place. That's going to change your life, my friend. Number 2 was intermittent fasting, all right? So I love intermittent fasting because it's essentially not even a diet, all right? Fasting, which all of you know what that is, just means that you're not eating food for a certain period of time. Now, the one that I did was 16 and 8, which means that I was fasting for 16 hours of the day and eating within an 8-hour eating window, all right? So when I started this, it was first at about 3 meals a day. So I was having 2 big meals and then 1 smaller snack in between. And I was actually eating fast food, like whatever I wanted. Like, I'm talking cheese fries, chicken tenders, cheeseburgers, you name it, right? All the foods that, most overweight people love, which is why they're overweight. And so I was able to still consistently lose weight every single week just from fasting alone and still eating those quote unquote bad foods, right? The reason why fasting works is because your human growth hormone really shoots up, and then your insulin goes way down. It decreases like crazy. So when both those things happen, your body is ramped up now to burn a lot of fat. Specifically with your insulin levels, when your insulin goes down all the way, your body is actually able to break apart fat cells in your body. And so that's essentially how you burn fat. Also, while you're fasting, because you're fasting for a 16-hour period, your body will use up glycogen stores in your body for energy. And once all those glycogen stores are used up, it's going to burn fat, right? And so it's the most amazing, the most simple way I've ever used in my life to lose weight, because not only have I been able to lose the pounds, but I've been able to keep it off, which is a first for me, because anytime I've tried to lose weight, I've always gained back some and more, and that kept happening for the past literally 10 years of my life. Like my entire 20s, that just kept happening over and over and over again. And what's crazy about my whole intermittent fasting journey is that I lost 50 pounds in a year and a half. Is such a huge accomplishment and blessing for me, because most of those months I didn't even fast properly. Most of those months I was eating really badly. Most of those months I wasn't being really strict about it, but I still lost the weight and I still maintained the weight, meaning I didn't gain any more weight just from fasting. The trick to that was, even if I was eating bad foods, even if I wasn't eating quote unquote healthier foods, I would still try to fast. Even if it was a 15-hour fast, a 14-hour fast, my thing was just to skip breakfast. And that was easy for me because I haven't been much of a breakfast person to begin with. Now, if you're someone who's a breakfast person, you just change it up and you can have breakfast and a late lunch and then you can just skip dinner, right? And so the easiest way to do it, I think, is 16-8. Now, some people do a 20-hour fast with a 4-hour eating window. Some people do a 23-hour fast with a 1-hour eating window, which is 1 meal a day diet, essentially. And if you're starting out, I also recommend that you try with like a 14-10. So you're fasting for 14 hours of the day and you're giving yourself a 10-hour eating window. And don't worry so much about the foods that you're eating. Just get used to the pace. Just get used to the timing, the intervals for the first week. It may seem kind of tough just that first week, but honestly, if you can get over that first week, man, it's going to be a breeze. It's going to get easier and easier and easier. After that, don't challenge yourself to go 17, 18-hour fast too quickly, because I did that. I made that mistake, and I can tell you a lot more about that if you work with me one-on-one or if you join one of my programs that I'm about to make available. But you really want to just stick to 16-8 because I really feel like that's a really good place to be. Now, if you can up it eventually after a couple of months, after 3 months, to 17-hour fast, 18-hour fast, then obviously you'll see a lot more results and you'll see them much faster. But 16 and 8 has worked beautifully for me, all right? So intermittent fasting was number 2. Number 3 was apple cider vinegar, all right? Believe it or not, I tried this because I heard about the benefits of it, especially with people who are intermittent fasting. And the crazy thing is that I wasn't taking apple cider vinegar every single day. I essentially was using it strictly about once a day. I was putting about 1 tablespoon in about a half a glass of water before I had my first meal for about the first 3 to 4 months of intermittent fasting, right? And so I truly believe that that's what helped me lose the initial weight, even though I was eating fast food and unhealthy foods, and it allowed me to not gain any more weight, right? I haven't used apple cider vinegar in about, I'd say, close to a year now, but I plan on getting right back into it starting actually tonight as I'm shooting this video, because I was reminded about, hey, what is it that really helped kickstart the weight loss for me? And apple cider vinegar was definitely one of the things that helps. It actually has so many health benefits. If you want to know more about it, just YouTube it, just Google it. I'm going to do a video about it as well. And so that was number 3. Number 4 was walking, all right? I started walking just 3 times a week for 20 minutes a day. We were out living on a beach house, and so I would just go outside and I would walk around the beach or around like the streets of the beach house and stuff near the other houses. And it was just 20 minutes. And remember, this is when I was my heaviest, so the walking was tough. Like literally I would feel it. My feet would be tired. After a few minutes, I'd be huffing and puffing. I was really, really out of shape, right? And then slowly, I got a gym membership about a few months later, and then I would go to the gym on and off. I'd say I probably went total about a month consistently. And then after that, I took a few months off completely, and I would just walk, right? And even the walking wasn't consistent. In the past year and a half, it's not like I've walked 3 days a week every single week. I'd say about half the year I did nothing, and the other half I walked or I lifted some weights, all right? And the weights I lifted were heavy. They were always just short 20-minute workouts. I would just do the basic, workouts for chest, biceps, back, shoulders, all the basic workouts that you probably know about. That's what I would do. I'd keep it really short, simple, didn't overwhelm myself. It wasn't at the gym 2 hours a day. So that was number 4. But honestly, even if you don't walk, even if you don't exercise, you're gonna lose weight. But I recommend that you at least walk, because physical motion is so good for your body. If you're not moving your body, then it's not gonna be healthy. You have to be moving it, right? Especially if you wanna change your mindset, you wanna change your emotion, you gotta put your body in motion. Like Tony Robbins says, the word emotion has motion in it, right? And so it's all connected, my friend. It's all connected. And so you really wanna put yourself into movement, because when you break a sweat, you release those happy hormones, you release serotonin and endorphins, and that really changes your state instantly, right? And so you want to put yourself in that state as much as you can. I personally would recommend 5 days a week that you at least walk, even if it's just 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day. Do something. Even if you don't have a place, a gym where you can go to, or you can't walk outside your neighborhood or apartment complex or house complex, wherever it is, you can pace around your living room. I know that sounds crazy, but you can do it. You put your headphones on, you listen to a good podcast, something educational, or my YouTube videos, right? So you just basically walk around at a comfortable pace, and you do that for as long as you need to get yourself into it. I don't care where you're starting, but you gotta start somewhere, all right? Number 5, consistency, all right? Consistency was very, very important. Like I just mentioned about the walking, If I were to just go to the gym and have the craziest workout of my life, like Insanity or like one of those crazy P90X workouts, and if I just did that for 3 hours straight and then I never worked out again, I wouldn't see any results in my body, right? But if I'm doing 20 minutes a day, 3 times a week, 20 minutes a day, twice a week even, right? Just being consistent, I'm gonna see some major gains and I'm gonna see some major transformations in the composition of my body, my face, everything, right? And that's essentially what has happened. And so consistency, not only with the walking and the lifting, which I'll get to in a lot more other videos, but consistency in intermittent fasting. Because like I said, I fell off the wagon several times. There were several days, weeks where I didn't properly fast within that window. There were several weeks where I ate very unhealthy, where I just binged, where I still had fast food. But I always went back to the fasting. I always, the next day, the next week, I went back to the fasting. And even if I couldn't do a 16-hour fast right off the bat, I would do 14 hours, 13 hours, 12 hours, whatever I could until I could work my way up to a 16-hour fast. Now I'm at a point where I can basically have my first meal, my lunch at 1 p.m., and then I have my second meal before 9 p.m. It's usually before 8 p.m., right? But I have that 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. window, that 8-hour window, so it's a 16-hour fast. And usually if I eat before 8 p.m., then it makes it a 17-hour fast, which is also a really good place to be. It's very manageable, it's very doable. I know you can do the same. That's why I created this video for you, to give you as much value and knowledge as I can of the 5 basic things I did. Now, the reason why I'm excited about it even more and sharing it with you is because I've been able to keep it off. This isn't one of those quick fixes, right? This is literally a lifestyle. And here's the thing. If you don't want to continue doing intermittent fasting your whole life, you don't have to, right? Get to your goal weight. Get to your goal weight and then decide from there. Give yourself the option of, hey, do I want to do intermittent fasting? Is it working for me? Is it a good lifestyle? Or do I want to incorporate breakfast again? Have a healthy breakfast or eat whatever the hell I want because I've lost all the weight and I'm working out and lifting and have enough muscle mass to where I can burn the calories on a daily basis. You'll know by then how your body works. The amazing thing is that it's not a diet. You're not going to feel like you're on a diet because a lot of times you're going to get to eat foods that you still love. Now, getting to eating healthier and getting to stop buffering your life by eating foods that are bad for you is a whole different topic. And I've done the mental work on that. And I've gotten much better with eating whole grains, avoiding white carbs, avoiding sugar. I've gotten much better with that. I've definitely avoiding fast food, even though I still have fast food sometimes after shooting of this video. I've gotten much better with all those things. So I've been able to create healthier habits by using all the mindset and the coaching hacks and being consistent with that, right? Visualizing my future self and knowing my why, knowing my purpose, knowing my reason. And I've been able to give myself enough time to do it to where I'm not like rushed and freaking out. Because sometimes when you do that, man, you're gonna end up hurting yourself. You're gonna end up injuring yourself either in a workout, or you're gonna get so tired of not getting results fast enough that you're gonna quit altogether and you're gonna gain all your weight back plus more. And then you're gonna look back a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, and you're gonna be even heavier, bro. And you don't wanna do that. Follow my advice, follow these 5 tips, and you will definitely lose 50 pounds. Guaranteed. I'm still on my journey of weight loss. I still have a lot more weight to lose. I'd like to lose probably another 60 to 80 pounds. And then replace the rest of my body weight with just increasing my muscle mass in general, right? And just be freaking jacked. I mean, that's my goal, and you're gonna be on the journey with me because I'm gonna have it right here on YouTube for you to watch. If you are interested in working with me one-on-one, and you can ask me exactly what I did in more detail to lose those pounds. What are some problems that you've been having? What are some mental roadblocks you've been having? You need help with the mindset part. You need help with the strategy part. You need help with the accountability part. I'm here for you for all of that, bro. So whatever you need, I'm here for you. You will be able to see it in the show notes below, an offer to work with me one-on-one. It may not be there forever, but if you see in the show notes, that means it's still available. And I'm really excited to announce the launch of a really big training group coaching program I have coming out. It's going to be a live virtual coaching, at least the first one is going to be live virtual coaching online for a group of you guys who are going to get seats. There are going to be limited seats in there, and I'm going to be announcing that very soon. It might be in the show notes as well, so check those show notes. So make sure you check this space for more, and comment below. Let me know what you thought of this video. If you found it helpful, if you've tried intermittent fasting before, what's worked for you, what hasn't. If you learned something from this video, if you just liked my energy, liked my style, send me some love. I'd always appreciate it. Remember that we're always in this together. And the reason why I started up Rise Up Warrior was because there are many of us men who know we can be better, who know we can do better. And it's time for us to rise up. It's time for us to rise up into being that best man, that best version of ourselves. Like I said, at your core, who you are. Right now, you are 100% worthy. You are 100% lovable. You are 100% great, a masterpiece, amazing, because He, the most highest of creators, made you, God, right? You're 100% fine the way you are, but there are aspects of your life that you want to improve. You want to feel better. You want to look better. You want to maybe have more money. You maybe want to have a dream relationship or a better relationship. Whatever it is, it's possible if you use the biggest tool, the biggest gift that God has given us, which is our mind, and using that mind to basically create whatever you want in this life. So I know you can do it, my friend. If you need the extra help, reach out to me below. And until the next video, remember that when a warrior falls, he always stands back up. He always gets back up. It's okay for you to fall. It's okay for you to go down to a negative place, but it's not okay for you to stay there. A warrior will always get back up. He'll brush his shoulders off, get back up, and get right back to where he was, to continue progressing, to continue moving forward, to continue becoming that best man, that best version of himself. And that's what I want for you, my friend. So, like I always say in all my videos, I got nothing but love for you, my friend. So always remember that, and remember that God loves you even more, because He does. And remember that you're never alone in this journey of life. I'm always here with you, always, always, so never forget that. And my fellow warrior, I will see you in the next video. Lots of love. Rise up, warrior!